My dad's making it hurt.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Oh, yeah. Welcome once again to the one and the only. This is, one more time, the big time show that is being seen and heard live right now as we speak on Facebook page, on our YouTube page, live on Twitter, X, and on Twitch as we speak. Monday night, 7 o'clock, or just barely past 7, which means that it is time for the one and the only. Me, yeah, big time show in the house. What's going on, everybody? Good to see you here tonight. Hope that you guys will come in and share. Let's do that first. Come in and share the podcast tonight. Share it to all your Cowboy groups or your Cowboy hater friends, whichever one. It makes no difference. We're good either way. If you want to contribute to the podcast, you can go. If you're on the Facebook page, you can use the stars. If you're on the YouTube page, you can use the super chat button there if you so desire. If not, it's cool. But the least you can do is just share. At least share at least one place. It would be very nice. Also, if you do me a favor, you can hit that like button, smash it maybe about 20 times. It would be great. All you gotta do is smash it. It'll take you less than probably 9 seconds to smash it repeatedly like that. You can do that very quickly. And we can go ahead and get this party started real quick as the Cowboys, of course, are not dead yet. They are on life support, I will say that, but they're not dead yet. And things are, it may be too late, but things are getting better. One, I'm just saying, depending on how you look at it. Our defense is getting better just because of people who are showing up. They're getting healthy. As I just said before, it might be just a little too late, but they are getting healthy. And this, last week we had a 1% chance to make the playoffs. This week we got a 3% chance. That's what you call improvement. Hey, it is what it is. What's up, Michael? Con man in the building. Robert King. What's up, brother? Appreciate you popping in. To those that may be on right now looking at me, appreciate all you guys coming to hang with your boy on tonight. It's good to see you on tonight. Thanks for hanging with me. Hope you guys at least come speak to me. I love to know who's on here with me. It's always fun to speak to the family. Let me type this in real quick. Okay. Let me do that real quick. All right. I just did that. Okay. Big game, y'all. Big game. For the Cowboys, as their back is against the wall coming up on next Monday night. This time next week, we'll be once again front and center on national TV. Nobody else, no other games on but ours. And we'll be at home again. And we have a chance to stay alive. Now, I just told you that last week we had a 1% chance of making the playoff. This week we moved it to 3%, which is better than 1. But the reason why it's only 3 is because, mainly one team won, and not that I expected them to lose. And that was Washington, who has the 7th spot right now as far as the last wild card spot goes. So they're now 8-5, which means that the pressure on the Cowboys is they're trying to make it. They are, in my opinion, they are in a must-win position coming up next Monday night. If you lose this game, it's pretty much a done deal as far as I'm concerned. So the game just got bigger because of Washington winning. Really not worried about Philadelphia. Philadelphia is way too far ahead. They're going to wrap up the division, unless they have an epic fall like they had last season. They will probably win the division. So we ain't thinking about that. The only focus that we have right now, to me, is Washington and what they will do. So was not surprised at all that they beat Tennessee Titans. They did what they were supposed to do. They beat them. We got to. This is it. You put 8 losses up on the board, and if Washington is not, winning, if Washington loses, then I guess we still are alive. If both of us lose, there's no damage really done. But if Washington wins again, if we win, then we'll be in the same spot. But we cannot afford to lose. I'm just giving you scenarios. I'm not, some will say I'm trying to give hope to the Cowboy Nation and all that. I'm not telling you. I'm just telling you the scenarios of what would happen if one thing happened and another thing happened and another thing happened. Our focus right now is on the Cincinnati Bengals. We got to take care of our business first, and then we need help. It's just that simple. So we have to make sure that we handle our business first, and then we just keep our eyes on Washington. So it's just that simple. It's really that simple. They hold the last wild card spot. That's the only spot that really is going to be open, as I said before. As of right now, the other two wild card spots are Green Bay and Minnesota, and neither one of them, they're too far ahead. So we're not going to catch them. You can forget that. Washington is really the only spot. Just gotta pull it out, and makes no difference who we playing. Makes no difference how good they are. Makes no difference how bad they may be. The bottom line is the Cowboys are in playoff mode, if you want to say that. They are in playoff mode right now. That's the bottom line. They are in playoff mode right now as we speak. So we really do have to get it done. And unfortunately for us, y'all, notice what I said. Unfortunately, we have a very good team that is coming in here next Monday night. Now I know what y'all gonna say. Wait a minute, your record is what it is, and according to the record, Cincinnati Bengals have only won 4 ball games, which is true. But Cincinnati Bengals, however, possess everything that is the weakness of the Dallas Cowboys. They have a 4-8 record, I believe. 4-8 record. Hey, I guess I need to speak to everybody. Kid Cowboy, I see you. Terry Turner, I see you. Robert again. Mr. Burns, I see you, bro. How you doing, man? I think I spoke to everybody else that at least has spoken. Put a comment down. What they are, they are, the Cincinnati Bengals are a Dr. Heckle and Mr. Hyde type team, where they are real good in one area, they're real bad in the other area. And the place where they're real bad is a place where I'm not just so sure that the Cowboys can take advantage of it. And then where they're real good at, it's kind of an unknown. And I'll get into that in just a second because of thing. I'll go with the bad first. All right. I want to say this. The Cincinnati Bengals, their offense is the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They are the 9th ranked offense in the league. Yesterday was a prime example of what I'm talking about. Cincinnati Bengals scored 35, 38 points yesterday, whatever it was. In an NFL game, that's usually good enough to win. 38, I believe they scored 38 points. It was either 35 or 38. But they lost. And the reason why is because they gave up 44 points. The Cincinnati Bengals have the 9th total ranked offense in the league. That's top 10 offense. That means you're pretty good. They have the Cincinnati Bengals are the number 1 passing offense in the league. Number 1. At 264 yards a game. That's what they're averaging. 264 yards a game. They probably are number 1 in total yards, and they're number 1 in passing yardage by about 8 yards over Baltimore. So they have the number 1 passing offense in the league. Then they have, let's see here. They have they're at the lower end of the league. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are the sixth worst, not the sixth worst, but yeah, they are the sixth worst offensive running team in the league. They're averaging 91 yards a game rushing. Number one offense in passing, bottom of the barrel in rushing, but points per game, they are fifth, and they are averaging 27.9 points a game. So you might as well say they're averaging 28 points a game. 28 points a game, ladies and gentlemen, usually win your ball game. And then, of course, when you look at their roster on offense, it's easy to see why. They are the number one passing offense. They are the fifth in passing. Fifth in scoring offense in the league. Look who their quarterback is. They have Mr. Burrow, who is any other year and on any other team, Joe Burrow's stats will garner him MVP votes right now. If you look at his stats, he's already leading the league in touchdown passes. He's already at 30. Already got plenty more games to go, so he's on pace to at least have a 40 touchdown year easily. He's at 30 now. Still got 8, 6, 7 weeks left. So he's on pace for 40 touchdowns this year. Easily. When you look at his wide receivers, when you talk about tandems, Chase and T. Higgins, it ain't too many better than that. To combine, they have a pretty good tight end. They stacked on offense. There's no question about that. When it comes to running the ball, which is what they don't do. If you ask me, Cincinnati is a kind of a finesse team. Even though I just told you they average about 91 yards a game rushing, which is, I believe most teams will take that. It just so happens to be at the bottom of the barrel. But the way I look at that is the reason why it's only 91 is because Cincinnati puts the ball in the hands of Burrow. And they put the ball in the hands of Chase and T. Higgins and the tight end that they had. They could run it for more, but they are a finesse type of team. They're not known for lining up and knocking your head off. Now, while the passing offense is good, what they are lacking in is the strength of the Cowboys, but you got to get them there to really take effect of that. And that is their offensive line is really not that good. Joe Burrow still is one of the most touched quarterbacks in the league. He hits the ground a lot. He gets sacked a lot. And he gets hit. Joe, as we all know, has been majority injury prone in his whole tenure with the Bengals, except maybe 1 year when they went to the Super Bowl that year. But he gets hit a lot, and so when you start looking at our defense, one of the things that lately we have done pretty well is we get to the quarterback. That's the strength of the Cowboys. And most of our guys are coming back, and now that you add, it looks as if that DeMarcus Lawrence will be back as well, probably on a pitch count, but nevertheless, he'll be back. And if that is the case, then the pass rush just got stronger. There's no question about that. The pass rush just got stronger when you added DeMarcus Lawrence back. So They average 91 yards a game rushing. But the question is, are they going to do something that they're not used to doing, which is running the ball? Because as we all know, I still got question marks on how the Cowboys defend the run, even though they played better. But I still got questions. I'm not just sure, if it is what it is, because the way Zimmer, if you guys notice, the way Zimmer has kind of shut down the running game, he put 6 people on the line. Well, if you put 6 people on the line, you got 2 linebackers, then that's going to leave your defensive backs on the island most of the time. And you do not want to go one-on-one with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And we haven't really been playing with a lot of safety help lately. I just can't see Zimmer. And even if Diggs comes back this week, which signs are pointing that he'll be back this week, Bland, probably his pitch count goes up even more, and he actually played a pretty good game last week. Even though he was I'm not gonna say limited, but he was on a pitch count. So even with Bland and Diggs out there, I don't know if you really want to test that out like that. And I'm talking about Zimmer going one-on-one, man to man. I don't think that's the right move. And so the question is he going to put 6 men down there on the line to try to stop Cincinnati when Cincinnati has not shown that they really are just a pound and ground type running team? But as we all know, teams learn to pound and ground against the Cowboys because traditionally, at least, last 2 years, we were long than that, to be honest with you, but we haven't really consistently stopped the run. I understand we look pretty decent last couple games, but that's just a couple games. I got to see it for way more than a 2-game sample. I need to see some real consistency on that. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how Zimmer going to play this thing. And when you do blitz, Joe, and if you are going one thing Joe Burrow is known for, that he gets the ball out quick. He's also known as being one of those smart guys that can read the defense, has no problem being reading, pre-cut, pre-snap. Can, been thrown everything. He's mastered everything. Joe really never hit a rookie wall. He never hit a wall. The only thing that's wrong with Joe Burrow is that he stayed hurt. That's it. Other than that, when he's on the field, he's deadly. Everybody knows about that. So, you got to be careful with Joe. Now, remember I just said the Bengals last week, or just yesterday, scored either 35 or 38 points, and they gave up 44. That's been the story of their defense and offense the whole year. The offense will put up, as you just said, the offense will put up 20, 25 plus points a game. They'll put up 30 points. But the problem is they'll give up 35 because they have no defense. Okay, let's look at the defensive stats. I'm sorry I don't have this for you tonight, so I'm just reading it for you. Total defense, that's yards per game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are the 6th. They're the 6th worst team. Not worse, but let me get this right. 6th to last in the league. So they're the bottom tier in total defense. They're giving up 369 yards a game. Let me get that right. Let me get this right. Let me get this right, y'all. I want to make sure I get this correct. Yes. They are the 6th worst from the bottom. So they're giving up 369 yards a game. That's a lot of yards in an NFL game. Passing defense, which is what I'm scared of, what I'm getting ready to say, Cincinnati is again, they're 6th worst in the league. They're giving up 241 yards a game passing. In rushing, Cincinnati is, they're giving up there, let me see. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They're 22nd in rushing, and they are giving up 128 yards a game. So they're almost, they're not at the bottom in rushing, but they're on the lower end, of course. 22nd, they're giving up 128 yards. Points per game, Cincinnati is next to last. They're giving up 28 points a game. So again, they're scoring 28 points a game on offense, and then they're giving up 28 points a game on defense. So here's the question as far as their defense, which is obviously bad. They're not bad. I mean, they're not good at all. They're bad. They're six to almost 6 from the bottom in passing yards, 241 yards a game, and then they're giving up 28 points a game. They're 22nd in rushing. So they're the bottom tier of everything. Here's my problem. Because, see, Mike McCarthy is going to mess this up. If they're giving up 128 yards a game, it's obvious that you can run them. If they're giving up 128 yards rushing, that's telling me that you can run the ball. All right, got that. But the problem going to be is that 241 yards. Because what that also tells me is that teams are feasting on their cornerbacks and secondary by throwing the ball. Here's what the problem is. It's Cooper Rush. Why am I already getting the feeling that Mike McCarthy is going to attack this team in the air? I can already sense that the balance is not going to be there. I can already sense it. Because y'all know how Mike McCarthy feels like. He just going to look at the film, oh man, we can get these guys in there. Yeah, you can get them, but do you trust Cooper Rush like that? And I believe the answer to him is yes. Which means I wouldn't be surprised if we see Cooper Rush in that pistol and shotgun all night long. I can see it. I can see it. I can see him not doing what needs to be done. And that is the formula for the Cowboys to win. It's very simple, y'all. And that is for him to run the football. And I just do not see Mike McCarthy going to drink that Kool-Aid. And I believe he's going to have Cooper. And it might work, but I just don't like it. So I got a feeling that he is going to pass the football a whole lot. I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. And I don't, I can see it because I believe they're going to try to, I believe they're going to try to take away, which is the best part of the offense right now, and that is Rico. So I can see them stacking the deck, 8-man box, and that's actually a pretty good strategy. I would stack the box, try to take away Rico, and make Cooper Rush beat me. That's what I would do. If I was a coordinator, I would make Cooper Rush beat me. And if he's just gonna try to gun him out of that 8-man box. I can already see it coming. Yeah. And here's the thing: although the Cincinnati Bengals are giving up 28 points a game, we're not a 28-point-a-game type offense. We're just not. We are a grinded out type of offense. And to beat Cincinnati, unless your defense is just on that day, unless they are just, shutting it down, you're going to have to score points to beat Cincinnati. Because they're going to score. At least that's what the track record says. Now, I know teams that have a bad night and our defense is getting stronger and stronger as far as people coming back, all that type of stuff. I get it. But I don't trust our defense to be that tight. I mean, they're going to have to play lockdown defense in order for us to have any chance of doing anything. I just hadn't seen that all year. Not like the defense that I'm talking about. I just don't think that I don't see us scoring like that. I just don't. The Cowboys said, yes, they are 28 points a game. That's where we at. I ain't even got to our offense, but since you said that kid Cowboy, I got the stats right here. I'll look at it and see. I'll look at it and see where we are. We actually not. We actually a 20.7. 20.7 points a game. So you might as well say 21, round it up. I mean, which ain't bad, but most teams, the real good ones score at least 20, 21, well, I ain't gonna say 21. I'm gonna say about somewhere around between 24, 27 in scoring offense. Somewhere in that area there. But we're not, if we was scoring 28 points a game, man, we'll have at least seven wins on the board. I just believe that. So, I mean, 21 is not horrible by no means. We just don't, in order to beat Cincinnati, you're going to have to score a problem this game. Especially if your defense is on. Okay? If your defense is on, we might shut that down and bring them down a notch to where we are, which means we have a better shot at this thing. But I don't know. I got to see how Zimmer playing, to be honest with you. Zimmer, this is a Mike Zimmer game. Because if you keep the score low, we got a shot. We got a shot. But if we're getting into a shootout with Cincinnati, I don't think we can play with them because we don't score like that. We don't score like that. Even though they got a bad defense and all that type of stuff, but you still got to score points. And I'm not sure that's what we that's what we do. I just don't. I don't see it. I don't see it. Jeffrey Murray says, why are we fighting so hard to be mediocre and maybe go home in the first round? Jeffrey, the only thing I can say is, man, pride. I mean, it was the fan base that thought we were tanking. All that, those guys were never tanking. The coaching staff was never tanking. It was the front office. They weren't tanking. That was us. That was just us saying we trying to get the first pick in the draft and the third pick. It was never them. So, our stance and position was not their position. They told us. Some of the players told us when we start getting guys back, we gonna do something. So far, so good. 2 wins in a row. If they pull this one off, then the confidence really is gonna go sky high. If they can pull this one off, his confidence really gonna go sky high, and hey, they'll be saying the Cowboys are getting hot. That's what they'll be saying. Even though Cincinnati is a 4-18, whatever they are, 4-7, 4-8, they'll be saying when the Cowboys were able to shut down Burrow enough to, for them to win. And now the Cowboys go to Carolina, and they'll say that's a possible chance for 4 in a row. That's gonna be the narrative. If we lose, then Jeffrey, then what you saying is 1,000% sure we're not gonna even make the first round. It's just the Cowboys won't have that top 10 pick like everybody was thinking for a minute that we was gonna get. Instead, they'll be in that probably 12 to 16 to 17 range stands and go with it from there. You be drafting in the middle of the first round. It's really just that simple. But as far as to answer your question one more time, can't blame guy that want to win, man. Cooper Rush ain't gonna lead no team to the NFC Championship game. I don't see that. I would love it. But to answer your question, that's a big hypothetical there. That is a big hypothetical. What it would mean is that Cooper Rush is going to make a whole lot of money next year with another team. That's what it means. That's all it means. It doesn't mean that Dak's job is in jeopardy. It doesn't mean that Dak is about to get traded and they for to turn the keys over to Cooper Rush. That ain't about to happen. They're married to Dak Prescott. That's why they made a commitment to him. All of that. Cooper Rush can go to the Super Bowl this year. And he make a whole lot of money with another team. Keep in mind, Cooper Rush's contract ends this year. Which means the Cow, if he was to go to the NFC Championship game or Super Bowl, you know that whatever the price was for Cooper Rush would automatically go up, way up. And Cooper Rush would find that money somewhere else. Somebody will pay him. He just won't be Cowboy. They're not going to pay 2 quarterbacks. Cooper Rush might get what he's making. What is he making this year? 3-4 million, whatever it is. That ain't going to happen. So, we ain't. Kid Cowboy says number 4 will have a very short leash. First of all, you gotta tell me who the bag of is. And you also have to keep in mind, Kid Cowboy, the Cowboys never go get a real threat at backup quarterback to challenge the starter. That goes all the way back to Tony Romo days. Never. They thought they did something when they brought in Andy Dalton to the Cowboys for that. And they paid him, $5 million? And everybody thought the Red Rocket was about to do all that. They don't never bring in nobody. So, again, if you telling me he got a leech, well, who's on the other side of the leech? That's what, even though I don't believe what you said, but at all, actually. They're not going to put a $60 million quarterback on the bench. It just don't happen. Not in Dallas, it don't. So, I don't believe that either. So, again, you have to tell me who the backup is, and then I'll have to revisit it. But I don't see that happening. Jeffrey says the good thing is the younger guys playing and winning. It helps that the guys are coming back. That's what you got to look at. Is that the guys are coming back. You know, it's a big difference when you're adding all pros and Pro Bowl players to the lineup, and practice squad guys are sitting down. There's a difference between DeRon Bland and whoever your cornerback was. You know, Carson, you know, those guys. It's a big difference. It's a big difference when you add a Michael Parsons back to this lineup. It's a big difference when you possibly going to add a DeMarcus Lawrence back to this lineup and whoever was playing in sits down. It's a big difference. It is. And these are guys that are coming back. Now you add Overshawn with that. You add in the way that Golston is playing right now. Even Mozzie, you know, we had a Mozzie sighting. Who's playing decent. Had a real good game last game when you turn on the tape. It makes a difference. So you expect the Cowboys defense to play better, but to what tune better? Like, you know, top 10 defense or something like that. Hoffman, yeah, well, Butler's gone, unfortunately. Butler tore his ACL, so he's out. But he played well the time that he was with us this year. So that was big. Golson's played well. Hoffman has played. Yeah, all of Jeffrey, exactly. See, all these guys that you see them naming are guys that have stepped up. I want to concentrate on Golston. Golston has played extremely well for a guy that, rarely got time. Seems like to me, the more he plays, the better he gets. Hoffman is a dog, and there was a big case at the beginning of the season that said that he should have been the starter over BB. Keep that in mind. And Hoffman has a lot of attitude. Hoffman is a dog. Hoffman is a tone setter. It is what it is. Kid Cowboy, who of course is a world-renowned Dak Prescott hater, says go 1-4 and see if he doesn't get benched. Well, one thing I will say, I don't know if he'll get benched because the Cowboys don't sit down guys that got the money. I will say that from a front office position, but from a fan base position, I believe that they will be calling for his head. But Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones don't react off the fan base. You know that, Kid Cowboy. So I don't even know why we even talking about that. There's no way in the world that Jerry Jones will sit down and man making $60 million a year. It's just not gonna happen. They'll throw up the Dak excuses more than anybody. There's no way. I'll let other shows entertain that, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Jerry says, you think we keep BB at guard next year? Move Hoffman back to center. Jeffrey, I really believe that that'll be one of the smartest decisions. And of course, this is all depending on if Zach Martin retires. If Zach Martin retires, then I think that the Cowboys already have their answer at center. I don't think they have to draft a center or another guard, to be honest with you. The move would be, of course, to move BB to guard. Do exactly as you say, put Hoffman at center, you're ready to go. You can always get another one, but Hoffman is young, too, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody look it up real quick. How old is Brock Hoffman? That really is another answer to the question. Well, put it this way. If no matter how old he is, you'll need to get a center or a guard in the first round. You may not have to do that. You might pick one up later on. but the need to find an immediate day one starter is not that crucial. If Zach Martin retired, you already had an answer from within. You already have it there. And it really don't have to be what you just said, Jerry. It could also be TJ Bass at guard and keep BB at center. You can do that too and be satisfied. So they got options there. You got options there. I think they like Hoffman. I wouldn't be surprised if they think they made somewhat of a slight mistake because Hoffman has played extremely well. So you just it just depends on Zach Martin hold a lot of the cards after this season. And keep in mind for those that say he's washed up, well, Zach Martin, as we all know, has been playing hurt. And he needed these couple of games to sit down, to, let his body heal a little bit at least. I still think Zach can play. It's just that your body can't do what it needs to do when it's messed up, jacked up. Maybe these 2 games that he took off, so that means he had 2 weeks off. Well, not 2 weeks, because 2 games in 1 week. But it is 2 weeks because he didn't play the Washington game, and he didn't play these last 2 games. And then he got this whole week. So when he comes back, I wouldn't be surprised if he's back Monday night. That'll be 3 weeks off for him. So, that might be as best as he's going to get. So, Shane says, I honestly believe our fan base is split. We have realistic fans and we have wishful fans. I just don't want to feed Jerry's ego and bring McCarthy back in. My opinion is a mistake. To be honest, I'm just sick of the mediocrity. Well, Shane, I think I said this the last show. I hate to say this, but man, if some kind of way McCarthy pulls out, if McCarthy pulls out 9, 8, right at 9 to 10 wins, man, it's gonna be kind of he will make a strong case for keeping his job. He would make a strong case when you consider all the injuries. See, and here's the thing, just like this. See, look, as much as everybody want to, the excuses to the 49ers, everybody talking about their injuries, and they have had injuries. And of course, if they were healthy, they'll be a better team. But they give them a pass. But when the Cowboys lose all these folks they lost, they keep trying to hold us up to the same standard. I don't get that. I don't get that. I don't get that. I don't get it. The 49ers have had multiple injuries to key players. Like the Cowboys have had multiple injuries to their key players on both sides of the ball. Shoot, we lost our quarterback. The 49ers have lost everybody. Everybody. At some point in time, some guys still ain't came back. We all saw what happened to McCaffrey last night. But then, if y'all don't know, the backup, Mason, I forgot his first name, to the backup to McCaffrey, he's hurt now too. So they got a rookie, I believe, starting running back. Purdy is not right. Kittle is missing games. Debo is missing games. Debo playing, he don't look right. He look like he's hurt. Trent Williams, of course, is not playing. They lost some guys on defense as well. The Cowboys have lost. They lost Bland, who's just coming back at the beginning part of the season. That's an all-pro. Diggs has missed some games. That's another all-pro Pro Bowl player. DeMarcus Lawrence, that's another Pro Bowl player gone. Sam Williams, we lost him in training camp, who's going to be big for us this year. Michael Parsons, of course, has lost 4 or 5 games himself. We done lost plenty of folks. Dak gone. Cook's just coming back. Come on now. We done lost plenty of folks. We done lost depth. The guys that we even had playing in the depth position, we lost them. So much that we were playing there. So, but the main part about the 49ers, everybody getting them a pass. Cowboys lost just a minute. And the Cowboys are held up to that 12-5 record. It's unbelievable to me. But it's some kind of way that Mike McCarthy can get this team to double-digit wins. He has a strong case on why he should keep his job. I know y'all don't want to have that conversation, but that's just the truth. That he was able to, and when he got his team back, he proved, okay, this is what we do when we get our guys back. See how many games we ran off? Bam. I should keep my job. And depending on where we at the end, then that discussion might have to happen. Robert King says, what about 8-8? You know what? Me personally, it's just me. Even though my guy Shane's causing mediocrity, this year to get to 8-8, it won't get you in the playoff, but that's an accomplishment. It is. Considering the year we've had. Not a losing season, that would be it's got to be more than 8-8, Robert, because we got 17 games this year. So either 9-8 or if we 8-9, then that's another different ball game. But we go 9-8. Oh yeah, we got to have that conversation. Like, really, should he lose his job, or are you gonna give him the same grace that you gave the 49ers? Because everybody called him a lame duck coach at the beginning of the year. Everybody said he got to win. You got to get to the NFC Championship game. You got to get to the NFC Championship game. That's what everybody say. You got to get there. But what nobody wants to say is, okay, give him the same grace that you give him the 49ers. That's all I'm saying. You can't dismiss that he did lose a lot of his great players. He did. Mike McCarthy lost the main parts of his team. You lose your starting quarterback, your number one wide receiver stats go down. That's why you see CD what he's doing. Just the other day he had 10 receptions, but he only had 67 yards. With Dak, if he had 10 receptions, he'll be over 100. Y'all know that. I'm just saying. Is that the truth? So, all that has to be factored in. And I complain about his play calling just like y'all do. I complain about that. But if some kind of way he pulls out I'm just going to say a winning season. It ain't got to be 10 games. 10 double-digit wins is just another bonus for him. But if he can make it 9-8, some kind of way, look, we're going to have a serious talk like, okay, if you're turning it over, who you turning this over to? And what kind of new system is my quarterback going to have to learn? What kind of, who is his staff? Who is that person's new offensive line coach? Who is the quarterback coach? Is the head coach going to be the play caller and the offensive coordinator and the quarterback coach at the same time? Who is it? I've said this before, but I guess it's if you telling me that is everybody's favorite, one of the favorites is Bill Belichick, I'm not worried or asking about Bill Belichick's resume. I'm not worried about Belichick. I know what he brings to the table. However, at the same time, even though Bill Belichick is universally known as probably one of the greatest coaches of all time, I'm not knocking it. But a question really does have to be asked. Like, okay, if you didn't have Brady, where would you really be? Because make no mistake about it, there was a big question mark about the legacy of Bill Belichick and Tom Brady when they said who is it, who really was the leader. All I know is Brady left, went to another whole organization, learned another whole new coach, came over there and changed their playbook into his playbook, and guess what happened? He won another Super Bowl. I also know that at the same time when he left, Bill Belichick ain't sniffed the playoffs. That question has to be asked. I'm not saying Bill Belichick can't coach. I'm just saying I understand that Matt Jones was the next quarterback, and that's comparing Jones to Brady is like comparing your State Fair to Walt Disney World. Both of them got rides, but it's hard. State Fair don't compare to Walt Disney World. I get that. I also need to know, the second question I'm asking is, okay, if I'm bringing in Bill Belichick, who is the offensive coordinator? Because it ain't Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick deals with defense. We all know that. So I need to know who is the offensive coordinator. And is that offensive coordinator going to make my quarterback better? Why am I saying that? Because I'm paying this quarterback $60 million a year for the next 4 years. I got to get everything out of him that I can get. And I can't have no coordinator that's, I got to have it. I got to have it. I need a quarterback. I need a offensive coordinator that's going to make my guy better. And it is not Jeffrey, Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia is a defensive guy who just so happened to take over the offense. Now, if you're telling me it's Josh McDaniels, now we talking. Not Matt Patricia. For those that remember Matt Patricia, that's the guy who always had the pencil in the side of on his ear and all that type of stuff. He's a defensive guy. He just so happened to take over offenses. The offense struggle. That ain't going to be good enough for me. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. I can't have Matt Patricia. Now, if you tell me it's Josh McDaniel, we can talk. Because, see, I know what Josh McDaniel offense do, of course. It's good that he had Brady, of course. It's there. I need to know who is it. That's what I want to know. Jerry Murray said whoever runs 12 personnel. Okay, that's got Josh McDaniels written all over. Because the tight end, like I said, when you look at the New England Patriots, other than Randy Moss, you might want to throw in Wes Welker, Julian Edelman, and those guys are pretty much slot receivers, not number one or number two guys. Other than Randy Moss, Tom Brady won most of his Super Bowls with a slot receiver and mostly tight ends. That's just the truth. You see what I'm saying? So, and then you have to change the whole identity, which means you're going to have a running back, which is what the Cowboys don't like because they don't value the running back. You see what I'm saying? They don't value running backs. They're the same guys that just said this year, why would we pay for one guy, pay him all that money, we can get a committee. We can get 2 or 3 guys and pay them all 3 of them with the same price. This is what they said. So that tells you they don't value running back. So in order to run the 12 personnel, you need a pretty good running back. They don't do that. So if it's Josh McDaniel, Jeffrey, and whoever else, then I'll say, okay, we can talk. I got Belichick. Somebody's going to obviously make this defense better. Probably going to bring in a 3-4 look, which is what they do, which is what Belichick, that's where he made his money at with the 3-4 defense. That's fine. Overshown and Michael Parsons as your two outside linebackers in the 3-4. I believe that would be incredible. Actually, I can do that. But if my offensive coordinator is Josh McDaniel, okay, we can talk now. But not Matt Patricia. If you saying Ben Johnson, everybody love Ben Johnson from Detroit. Okay. I like Ben Johnson too. And I believe he will work. Here's the problem. Who is your defensive coordinator? Because see, I even though I know you got offense good, I need to know who is your defensive coordinator. Because my defense got to get better. I need that. Yeah, you're right, Jim. But he would have to make that exception with Michael there. Because you can't put Michael on the edge. You can sometimes, but I'm saying primarily you can't. And you can't put Overshown right there because he's just as small as those guys. You got to have them guys on the field. See what I'm saying? So he would have to do a little changing on that. See what I'm saying? So if you say it's Ben Johnson, I just need to know who your defense coordinator is. Because it's a whole new staff. We talking a whole new system change. We talking for the offense. You see what I'm saying? We got to learn new lingo. The guys got to get. Yeah, but remember this, Jeffrey. It's a 3-4 defense. I mean, you got 3 down linemen, which means Michael have to play nose tackle to get to the big gap. They ain't lining directly up over the guard. They ain't 3-4. You got to have a big nose, somebody that can hold the ground. That's 3-4. You got to have a big sloppy, pancake-eating dude that's about 360 that can hold the line right there. That's what the 3-4 is. You can't put no little 260-pound Michael Parsons. He's gonna get 8 alive in that. So that works into 4-3. When you know it's a passing down, that ain't gonna work 3-4. If you bring in Dion, marketing wise, Dion is a home run. Marketing wise, Dion is a great motivator of men. And for those that say, well, that's in college, he'll do the same thing in pros because guys would love to want to play with Dion. They would. Dion is universal. Guys would love to want to play with Dion Sanders. He's like a magnet. Guys would love to play with him. His personality works with everybody. Grown men, young men, whatever. Motivator men, which is the head coach would be. But even I still would have to ask Dion, okay, who you bringing in as your staff? Because see, some of them guys are going to stay in Colorado. I need to know who your staff is. For all those that want Dion, yeah, you coming, but who's your offensive coordinator? Because it ain't you. If it's Pat Shermer, who's the coordinator with him in Colorado, I got questions. Because Pat Shermer was offensive coordinator in the league, and that didn't go too well. I'm just calling like it is. I need to know who your defensive coordinator is. Who's your defensive coordinator? Dion is the type, and I'm just throwing this out here. Dion is the type that'll say, okay, I'll take the job, but let me have Al Harris as my defensive coordinator. I would go for that. I would. I just see a lot of these guys, man, y'all got to look at, who they bringing with them. If it's Mike Vrabel is a tough, gritty-minded defensive coach. I ain't worried about that. He come from the Belichick tree. He played for him. Won Super Bowls with him. I ain't questioning Vrabel. The team gonna be tough. But here's my question. Who is your offensive coordinator, Mr. Vrabel? See what I'm saying? So all of them really got that question there. You said Jason Garrett. No, they rode that bicycle. They put that in the garage. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. Jerry, man, listen to me. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. You ain't gonna like what I'm about to say, but I'm just telling you. Jerry would go back and get Kellen Moore. It makes sense. See, the problem we had with Kellen Moore was in the red zone, he struggled. But as I always said about Kellen Moore, between the 20 and the other team's 20, he was dominant. Cowboys were always in the top 2 or 3. Most of the time, they're the number 1 offense in the league. Kellen Moore is the leader of that offense y'all seeing in Philly right now. Don't forget that. And they lighten it up. Okay? Kellen Moore made Dak what he is, if you just want to be honest with him. Whatever Dak Prescott is, it was Kellen Moore. Wouldn't be much of a change, wouldn't be much of a hard, it's an offense that most of the guys that are there already know. Wouldn't be that much of a transition, and he's young, and Jerry loves Kellen Moore. Remember that. Chris Johnson, I believe that if the Cowboys lose next Monday night, I believe then we'll see Trey Lance for the rest of the year. But as long as the Cowboys are on life support, they're not dead, but they're on life support. If they're alive with any small remote chance of getting that last seed, you're going to continue to see Cooper Rush. But as soon as they are eliminated, then you're going to see Trey Lance. That's what I think. But I really believe, y'all, it's a name that it just makes sense. Jerry will give Kellen Moore an opportunity. I believe they would give him an opportunity. I believe he would. I believe it. I mean, it ain't that much. It ain't that, because see, the truth of the matter is, Mike McCarthy really is. What's really the difference between Kellen Moore's offense and Mike McCarthy's offense? We're seeing the same play, same stop route, same slant route, same hitch route, same run it up the middle from the shotgun formation. I mean, it ain't that much different, y'all. Yeah, for head coach. And the reason why is because Kellen Moore's name will be hot once again once this season is over with. He ain't doing nothing to add to the resume. Let's just be truthful. Wherever Kellen Moore has been an offensive coordinator, his offenses have been top 5 offenses. Dallas, yes. Philly, definitely Philly this year. Top 5 offense everywhere for years. Let's just be honest. I mean, we got some questionable calls. We didn't like that he was passing the ball all the time, like Mike McCarthy does and all that. And, he didn't run the ball enough, just like Mike McCarthy run the ball. But at the end of the day, the Dallas Cowboys offense was top 2 or 3 with Kellen Moore. I don't care what y'all say here. I didn't like Kellen Moore myself. I thought he was too finesse. I'm still saying he finesse. But when you got a guy, of course, that ain't being shown this year, because what you got is a guy in Saquon Barkley this year who has just really lost his mind this year. Yeah, I mean, he running Saquon because because with Saquon there, you ain't see the Cowboys. See, he could have had the same thing with not with Zeke, but they were so loyal to Zeke that they pushed away Tony Pollard when they really could have had some of the same things. See, when you had Cooper and a healthy Michael Gallup and a rookie in CeeDee Lamb, you really couldn't stack the box. And they didn't stack the box because you didn't want to go one-on-one. But the problem was Zeke had lost a step, but yet you tried to run the ball and he wasn't explosive enough. That's why we were begging for Tony Pollard to start, because every time Pollard touched the ball, things got popping. If you remember, Pollard made a Pro Bowl from being the second running back. Zeke didn't make the Pro Bowl. It was Pollard. It was Pollard that got over 1,000 yards from being the number 2 running back. Remember that? But they were so loyal to Zeke. I'm saying that Pollard would have been there the way Saquon running. See, the reason why Philadelphia looks so good is because they can't stack the box on Philly. Because if you do, you're going to leave one-on-one with AJ. And then Devontae, even though Devontae ain't played in a couple weeks. And then Goddard, the tight end. Look what we had. We had Schultz. We had Amari Cooper. We had a healthy Michael Gallup. And you had Tony Pollard back there. But you wanted to throw in Zeke. That slowed things down. That's why the reason why Saquon is killing people this year is because he's running in a light box this whole year. Well, if you give Kellen Moore a real good running back and you give him another receiver with CD, guess what's going to happen? Same thing. Because that's what happened when he was here. Why do you think Dak Prescott had all these gigantic numbers when Kellen Moore was here? So you can't deny it. And I'm saying all of that to say, what I'm saying is, it makes sense. See, what can't be denied is the numbers of Dak Prescott when Kellen Moore was here. It can't be denied. Can't be denied. Good point, Chris. Great point. And a good old line. Exactly. And that's really one of the most important parts. And a good old line. You're absolutely right. None of this works if you don't have a good old line. Which I think they'll be better next year. If it all depends on how it all shake out. Like I said, if Zach Martin retires, you got the answers already inside the locker room. You just ain't got to draft nobody first round, have another rookie and all that type of stuff. You don't really have to do that. The answers are already in there. So I really believe we better throw up the name Kellen Moore, because Kellen Moore is going to have his name called at the end of this season for head coaching jobs again. And I believe because Jerry loved that kid. He loved him so much that he kind of made sure that he didn't go to Boise State. Y'all remember they wanted to give him the job at Boise State? And Jerry offered him some more money. I think he get paid almost $5 million a year to stay as an offensive coordinator. You know, for an offensive coordinator, that's crazy money. That's crazy money. So, we calling all these different names out. And to be honest with y'all, you know what I'm saying? I didn't like Kellen Moore because he was too finesse for me when you got inside the 20-yard line. I always want to line up the shotgun and all that kind of stuff from the 3-yard line. Never ran the ball. All that kind of thing. I'm just saying. But when you balance it out, all the good with the bad, there are more check marks with Kellen Moore on the good side than they are on the bad side. That's just the truth, y'all. If you wanna be truthful, kid Cowboy, you're wrong. Trey Lance not the fastest. Lamar Jackson still is. But I ain't fit to argue with you on that. So, why wouldn't you offer Kellen Moore? Dak don't need to learn nothing too much new. That needs to come out rolling next year. So the way I look at that is you got to give him something that's familiar and pretty good. That's Kellen Moore. I can see that. I really can. I can see that. I really can see it, y'all. And I believe Jerry Jones will remember now the coaching contract is nothing to have anything to do with the salary cap. So Jerry would move heaven and earth to bring Kellen Moore back in, and it ain't gonna cost you as much as you think it is. It's not. It's not. It's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you, but it's not gonna cost you as much as it would be a Belichick. It will not cost you as much as it will cost a Dion Sanders. It will not cost as much as a Vrabel. Well, I don't know. Vrabel. Kellen Moore may outcost Mike Vrabel. A Ben Johnson. I think Ben Johnson will cost more because he'll hold on and say something like, I love it here in Detroit to be playing poker a little bit and raise the price up. But Kellen Moore would cost you a little something because his track record speaks for itself. And then to be a head coach, it might cost you somewhere around between 10 and 12 to get Kellen here. But that ain't got nothing to do with the salary cap. Jerry would pay that. Jerry would pay that. To get Kellen Moore. Kid Cowboy, once again, my conversation with you is just about over. Because if that's what you really believe, that last comment, I'm gonna even highlight it for you, Kid Cowboy. That's crazy. That really is. Say Moore is the only coach, the only, keyword only, who would have number 4 as his quarterback. Nobody else would, he said. I'm gonna let you just soak in that, Kid Cowboy. If that's what you believe, I'll let you believe it. You know it ain't true, but I ain't gonna even argue with you tonight. Chris Johnson, I actually believe you too, because the Cowboys are a circus. Plus, Jerry wants control and don't want to be bothered, and he want to do what he do. Kellen Moore gives him that opportunity. Kellen Moore gonna let Jerry be Jerry, and he just gonna try to coach football team. I ain't gonna use the term Jerry could punk Kellen out, but Kellen Moore's one that wouldn't challenge him. Remember, Jerry don't really want a strong personality in him. You don't want a strong personality. You don't want that. You don't want nobody on his level. Bill Belichick comes in with more rings than he got. You don't want that. Because Bill Belichick will say, I can show you the way to win. And Jerry be talking about, I know the way to win too. Jerry, well, I got more rings. But Jerry say, well, I don't think, no. Jerry don't want that. Dion Sanders, the truth be told, is somebody that could take the spotlight off of Jerry. He don't want that. He don't want that. Reporters will run by Jerry just to hear what Dion got to say. He ain't never had that before. Well, yes, he had. He had that with Jerry and Bill Parcells. With Jimmy and Bill Parcells. He didn't like that. He wanted all the attention. We all know that. So ain't nothing changed. So we know that. So I don't know. But I really think that another name that really got to be pulled up in there, without a doubt in my mind, is Kellen Moore. And I'm talking about Jason Witten. Jason Witten may get called up to the coaching staff with Kellen Moore. That might happen. But he won't be no head coach. He won't be no head coach. He might, you know what I'm saying? With Kellen Moore, you can get 2 for 1. See, that's the good part about him. Kellen, the more I keep talking, the better he get. I mean, not that I want him, just saying it just makes sense. No. With Kellen Moore, you get 2 for 1. You get a new head coach and the offense coordinator at the same time. Kellen Moore can handle it. Just kind of hard for me to see Kellen Moore being a leader of men, though. He's a little bit too soft for me. He don't. I mean, I don't know what he's like in his meetings, so I really can't say that. I don't know what he was like when he was in the meeting with the Cowboys, with, be a leader of men. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just think that when you start putting the candidates out there, I just think the Kellen Moore name got to come out. I just think it's got to be there. Now, whether the Cowboys do that or not, never know. But I think Kellen Moore name is going to be on that list. I really do. And that's if Mike McCarthy is gone. And I'm still saying that's a if. I'm saying that's a if. And we can really start speculating if the Cowboys lose Monday night. Because it just about will be over then. They don't, like I told you last week before we played, who we just beat? The Giants. Before we beat the Giants, we was at a 1% chance of making the playoffs. After we beat the Giants, we moved to a whopping 3%. Hey, but it's better than 1. If you beat Cincinnati, if Washington slips up 1 game, we get 1 game behind them, I'm quite sure that the odds go up a little bit. So we're on life support, but the plug ain't been pulled quite yet. If we lose Monday night, I think that is a done deal. So until we lose it, then I got to talk like the way I'm talking. Personally, do I think we're going to make the playoffs? No, I don't. I don't see the Cowboys running no table. I don't see it. But I do know that our guys are coming back. And because they're coming back primarily on defense, the defense will get better. And they playing pretty decent. They playing pretty decent right now, as y'all know. Cliff Kingsbury. I think the book is out on Kingsbury. Kingsbury offense would not work with us because I have to side with Kid Cowboy on this one. Kingsbury in the pros, his system, even when he was in college, it was always revolved around a very athletic quarterback that can do both, run and pass. Well, obviously, Dak Prescott can't do that. He's always had, even in college, he's had athletic quarterbacks. I believe when Mahomes came out of that in Texas Tech, if I'm not mistaken. Pros, Kyler Murray, of course, and then now Jaden Daniels. I mean, that's called athletic guys. His offense is based off that. Dak Prescott wouldn't give him that. He wouldn't give him that. So and plus Cliff Kingsbury's offense says that after a little while, everybody catch up to him. Everybody catches up to him. And he's more of a Kellen Moore's type guy too. He's finesse. More finesse. So I don't think, might work, but he needs a lot of athleticism on that. So I don't know. I don't think he would work. Not as head coach either. We already saw that. That's really what the head coach really gonna be about, y'all. It ain't gonna be really. That's why I don't think Belichick will do it, because it's really all about who's gonna make your quarterback better. Follow the money. Wherever the money is, the next head coach job is gonna be to make the money where the money been spent better. The money has been spent on the offense. I ain't even talking about CeeDee Lamb's money too. So that's what the money is. The money is Dak and CD. It's $94 million. Starting next year. You're going to bring in, your next head coach is going to be, okay, how can I make these two guys even better? You ain't bringing in a defensive coach talking about how we going to make Michael Parsons better. Michael Parsons is already, almost at his peak. Man, I ain't going to even say that. He's too young. But you ain't bringing a head coach talking about how can I make Michael Parsons better. No, you ain't doing that. Your job is going to be, how can you make this quarterback and this offense roll? That's what it's going to be about. I'm not saying it'll be you still going to make your defense better, but you got to make sure that your quarterback and your wide receiver, number one, stay on top. It's just common sense. Every coach does that. Every coach. Chris Johnson said, what about Zimmer as head coach? He got that. Yeah, he does, but if you hire Mike Zimmer, who's your offensive coordinator? Because Zimmer ain't going to have nothing to do with the offense. Who's your offensive coordinator? It won't be Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore's his job. His job is strictly from now on. Kellen Moore, where he once was satisfied with being the offensive coordinator. Kellen Moore's next stop will be a head coaching job somewhere, and I believe it's going to happen next season. Excuse me, y'all. With somebody, the offensive coordinator job, he's done too well. He's done well for a lot of, too many years now. And every year pretty much have the same result. Number 1, number 2, number 3 offense in the league. That's what his resume says. So he's done that job well. He's more than qualified to be a head coach now. So that's the only thing I say about Zimmer. Who's your offensive coordinator? I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, Kid Cowboy. He just didn't win the Super Bowl. Well, if you just saying the Super Bowl is the standard, then I have to agree with you. He didn't win it, but look what division he came from. I mean, who was really beating Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers during those years? I mean, who? Who was beating? I mean, Green Bay was. I mean, come on, man. I mean, you got to win your division first. Green Bay, I mean, when did Green Bay not win the NFC North other than the year that Aaron Rodgers was hurt? I mean, we all know that. I mean, even if he did lose, it wasn't that many. So, who was getting by Green Bay in the division first? And then, when we started talking about that, I mean, the NFC champion was different almost every year. Minnesota was never thought of as a serious Super Bowl contender back then. So, I don't know, Todd Monken is head coach of the Ravens get to the Super Bowl. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? The thing about Todd Monken, man, is I'm not saying he's not a good coach, and I think he is. But when you got Lamar Jackson, man, Lamar Jackson makes your offense look good. You see what I'm saying? Lamar Jackson is a eraser of bad play calls, bad decisions, because he can do things that nobody else can do. And he will make up for the mistakes, a bad play call and all that type of stuff. So I don't know if, offensive coordinators from Baltimore scare me. Because see what happened when you don't have a Lamar Jackson. Now what you got? Well, anytime you got a quarterback that's running for over 1,000 yards in 1 year and getting you 7 or 8 touchdowns, and then you got a quarterback that throws, for 3,000 plus yards like that, and you got a guy who's gonna be MVP of the league primarily because he runs the ball. I mean, I don't know how good he is. The same thing with, I can't say that with Kellen Moore because, see, I know what Kellen Moore was without Jalen Hurts. He had Dak Prescott, which was more of a pocket quarterback. I saw what he did with Dak. And now I see what he do with Jalen Hurts, a running quarterback. He implements both of them. And I've seen what he do with a loaded offense. I can't count that, Jeffrey. Can't count that. Georgia, SEC is dangerous and all that, but Bennett, see, just because you're good in college, you're a third stringer in the league. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nobody scared of Stetson Bennett in the NFL. Even if he came in as a day one starter, you're not scared of him at all. But at Georgia, when you surrounded by a top-ranked defense the whole year, and you got a great tight end at Georgia, and Brock Bowers, and got a real good solid running game, which is what Kirby Smart do, run the ball very well. I can't give no credit to that. I need to see what it, and that's unfair to mock it. See, Lamar Jackson will get you the coaching job, but by not having Lamar Jackson, it'll get you fired too. Because see, everybody's saying, okay, you did that with Baltimore. Now you do that here in Dallas, or you do that here and there. You can't duplicate that. Because Lamar Jackson is just different. And everybody don't have that type of dude. So I don't know about Mark. Everybody that had Lamar Jackson looked the same way. Everybody. Every offensive coordinator that had Lamar Jackson looked the same way. And now none of those coordinators that left and went somewhere else are out of a job. They're out of a job. That offensive coordinator got a job. I'm sorry, except Ben. No, Ben Johnson won the coordinator of Baltimore. Let me stop there. I don't know what I'm thinking. But anyway, all this speculation is true, like Shane said earlier. But I'm saying you can start leaning this way if we don't pull off Monday night, which is the biggest game of the year. The reason why it's the biggest game of the year is because it's playoff time really for the Cowboys right now. You want to say back is totally against the wall, and back is totally against the wall, and you have to win. That's playoff mindset there. So we'll see what the Cowboys have to offer. Kid Cowboy says, I'll take Winston over number 4 right now. Okay. See how far that gets you. Because Jameis Winston has a resume too. So if you want to take that, then you know what to expect, Kid Cowboy. I ain't gonna argue with you. You take them. Yeah, Ben Johnson in Detroit. I was thinking that he came from Baltimore. I had a brain lapse. He didn't come from Baltimore. He's in Detroit, exactly. You take Jameis Winston over number 4. Okay, you take him and see how far they get you. That's the only thing I say. Okay. I ain't gonna even argue with you. You take him, see how far they get you. See how far I take you. There's a few other teams that have him. And that's why you see him in a different uniform and a different hat every trip. I like his heart, though. He was a number one pick in the draft. Jameis Winston was. He was the number one pick for a reason. It's just this ain't Florida State no more. He won the Heisman. This ain't Florida State. That's why he done went from team to team to team, because they were looking for the Florida State Heisman Trophy winner, and they didn't never get that. They got a gunslinger, which he is. Just sometimes Jameis, sometimes he gets you some incredible, like that throw he just made a few minutes ago. That's a number one draft pick type of throw. But then there are other times where he throw it straight to somebody else, which is the reason why he changed uniforms every year. So it just depends on what you like and what you don't like. I love his heart though. He got that. You know. I feel a little bit better, Jeffrey, about Schoonmaker. He's had a chance to get in rhythm. He's played well. He's blocked well. Lord knows he's caught the ball well. So he's getting, yeah. Schoonmaker's playing better. Yeah, kid Cowboy, you say Tampa Bay was horrible, but you got to keep in mind, they put the franchise in the hands of a number one overall draft pick, which was Jameis Winston, which means that you're supposed to turn things around. When you're the number one overall draft pick in the league, you don't supposed to make it worse. They hurry up and shift him to New Orleans so he can sit and learn under Drew Brees in New Orleans. They say you don't need to start. You need to come down here and sit down and learn. And if Drew get hurt, which he did, then you come in and take what you already know and then what you learned from Sean Payton here and Drew. And then you play there. They did that and they said, okay, we ain't gonna pay you no more. We're gonna trade you or whatever the case may be. We ship you to Cleveland. And you know, at the moment, if Deshaun Watson wasn't playing so horrible, or he didn't get hurt, he wouldn't be playing now. So, but I love what Jameis has brought the last couple of weeks to Cleveland. They playing hard for him. He's playing hard. He looks pretty good. They're in the games. Jameis, you know, I like Jameis. I don't like him over number 4 though. I mean, I'm just sorry. You know, it is what it is. I wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland pulled this game out. I wouldn't be surprised at all. All right, y'all. There's plenty of time for speculation, but I think, as I said before, I think that if we want to add some new fire to this, I believe that we're going to have to name Kellen Moore in this. His name will come up. I don't know how out the Cowboys are on him. I don't think they'll be out on him at all. Kid Cowboys, yeah, but you want him over number 4 though. Kid Cowboy, I'm behind because I'm watching it I'm streaming it right now, so you know when you stream, you're always behind, so you're ahead of me. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to tell you. He made an incredible throw earlier. It looked real good. And now you telling me I ain't got to play yet, but now you put in and say he rolled a pick 6. That's what Jameis gives you. He'll make you smile 1 minute and then he'll blow it the next one. Maybe this is the play I'm looking at. No, he just threw it to Judy on this. And see, that's the funny part about Jameis. You'll think he hot. The play I'm on, Kid Cowboys, where he threw it to Jerry Judy on the sideline there. And he did it on Certain, so I may be 2 plays behind or whatever. But if he threw a pick 6, this is what I'm talking about. So you want Jameis over Dak, you can have him. That's the reason why he does, as I said before. See how silly you look like? This is the reason why he switched uniforms every year. Let me see if this is the play. Jameis shuffling his feet, Threw it too fast, threw the pick six. There it is. Yep. I saw it. Wow. Yeah, you can have him, Kid Cowboy. I saw the play now. There you go. I rest my case. I ain't got nothing to say. You want him over Dak? You got him. There you go. I'm done. I couldn't think of a better way to close it out. Good old Kid Cowboy. Right there. His comments were right here. He was looking at him throw the ball down the field, making pretty great throws. You see, that's what he said. I'd take Winston over number 4. The drive kept going. Kid Cowboy said this. I spoke too fast. Because a pick six. I couldn't have written this better, Kid Cowboy. I couldn't have written this better. See, your words will close out the show tonight. That's what you kind of. Real good question, Shane. Now I'm gonna mess you up. Boy, that's a great question. What kind of coach do you think Dak needs to finally elevate his game? This is so easy. Here's the kind of offensive coach that Dak Prescott needs. He needs the offensive coaching system that was there his rookie year, and he became Rookie of the Year. And he needs an offensive coordinator like a Ben Johnson. What do I mean by that? He needs an offensive coordinator that will carry him back to his Mississippi State days, minus him running, because he can't run no more. In other words, the same game plan. Well, I can't say the game plan. I tell you what, go back a couple years ago when Cooper Rush went 4-1 and everybody said Cooper Rush needs to start over that. Well, remember, we were killing people because we were running the ball and playing defense. It wasn't because of Cooper Rush lining up and all that type of stuff. We ran the ball effectively, we pounded the ball, then we were playing lights out defense. In other words, this is what I'm saying. The kind of coach Dak needs to elevate his game, he need to get back as close to his NFC Offensive Rookie of the Year days. Not the MVP run-up. That'll get you so far. But in playoff time, it is no secret you're going to have to run the ball. And Dak's best games have always been when he can use play action. If you line up Dak and strictly shotgun, he got a gun around. He's just like Jameis Winston almost sometimes. He look good on that. Well, I ain't going to say he like Jameis Winston. I'm just saying the possibility is there for him to throw a pick. Because Dak is really, they're trying to make him a strictly pocket quarterback. If you're going to make him a pocket quarterback, make him a pocket quarterback from the from the play action game. In other words, give me a running back, give me someone with a pretty decent O-line, and then we can go with it like that. We done got identity crisis when it comes to that. We want to make him throw the ball dang near 40 times a game and 40 plus times a game. That ain't Dak. Dak needs to throw the ball somewhere between 28 and 32 times a game. That's it. And that may be too high. That's the kind of coach you need. So on that note, when you look at Ben Johnson got 2 running backs. Ben Johnson got Jameer Gibbs, and then you got Ty Montgomery. You don't see Jared Goff with all, Jared Goff is efficient, but you don't see him throwing the ball 50 times because the running backs take the game. He got loaded wide receivers from St. Brown in Detroit. Then he got Jameson Williams as the other wide receiver, but they're known as a running team. See what I'm saying? He had that all before Kid Cowboy, and guess what the win totals were? That's the kind of coach he needs. He don't need to be a strictly pocket quarterback trying to make him, trying to make him Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. That's never been Dak's game. Now he's become very good at it. He's very good at it. I'll give him that. I mean, but that's really not Dak's game. That's the kind of coach, offensive coordinator that is. Somebody's gonna make him pull you. So that may change up your draft strategy. You know, you may need another bell cow running back. You may need to bust up this philosophy you got there. We can go by committee. We can go by committee and get all these good runners. You know, they may have to bust that up, change it up. That's the kind of coach you need. This finesse, that's not good. If anything, we ought to know that by now. The finesse way ain't gonna get it done. That change the philosophy up. You gotta get it. So, that's just my opinion. Dak Prescott thinks he's Dan Marino. Because he'll change the running play quick and try to run. Now, I give Dak credit because, you base it off the coverage you see and you might change up the play and all that type of stuff. And Dak has been more successful than he has been, not successful. I give him credit for that. But you're going to have to, you're going to have to get him back to close to Mississippi State Dak as possible. Because that's what the Cowboys did. That's when he could run it. When he had that first year, when he kept Tony Romo on the bench and ran all them, ran out 12 games in a row. That's because he looked like Mississippi State Dak. He did. As soon as they want to change him into Dan Marino Dak, it only get you so far. You drafted all these linemen because they were physical, and then you line them up in the shotgun the whole game. That's not good identity. We got identity crisis. Let these guys go for it. Why you think been winning these last couple games? Because they run the ball. You finally figuring it out. Run the ball. Let these guys do what they do best. Pass blocking ain't what they do best. It's going forward, hitting people. That's why we looking pretty good. That's why we're looking pretty good, y'all. All right. I'm done. Great question, Shane. I like that one. That's a great question. So who fits that better? Right now, to be honest with you, it probably would be either Ben Johnson or Bill Belichick. I'm just saying. That's if you want to base off what I just said, that's Ben or Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick is more, as a head coach, pound the ball, running it, and great defense. That's more leaning toward Belichick. So it is what it is. All the rest of these guys are unknown. Kellen Moore is not unknown. We know what he is. So just gotta see. All right, I appreciate you guys. Listen, I'll be with you guys on Saturday unless something happens. I'll see you guys. It's a lot of days in between. In between that time, check out the Big Time Show Facebook page. I'll do some posts. If you're on YouTube, I might throw a couple shorts out there as well. Little short videos that you'll be able to see. Unless something crazy go on, I won't be live until Saturday. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, man, I appreciate y'all time, man. Thanks for y'all for hanging with me on the night. I always appreciate y'all. Do me a favor, hit that like button, smash it again for me. Smash it again for me. And we'll do this again Saturday at 3 o'clock. Saturday at 3 o'clock Central Time. we'll be with you again for the one and the only, the big time show.